fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best. Bet with WSB, a leader in the fixed odds betting market and number one in the anti-post betting market. Trackside, it's a busy weekend for local racing. We got a doubleheader on Saturday, Turffontein alongside Kenilworth, and what a massive day for Kenilworth, featuring the Grade 1 Cape Guineas and other feature races as well. That promises to be an outstanding race meeting with some high-class action, and I suspect huge pools as well. And then we move over to Sunday at Scottsville, and we're back in the capital, Pietermaritzburg, and really looking forward to that meeting as well. Back to my hometown, PMB. Okay, I mentioned that it's a busy show. We're going to give you 5 horses for this weekend's Trackside. We're going to have 2 trebles up on Saturday, and then we'll have a treble up for Sunday as well, because I like the look of the card at Scottsville on Sunday, and I picked out 3 horses at that race meeting. But away we go with our horses for Trackside this weekend, and we'll begin at Turffontein, and that will be a horse called Super Agra that comes up in race number 4. Paul Peter and Warren Kennedy will team up. This combination having an outstanding season, of course, both vying for their respective titles. Warren Kennedy has got a sizable lead on the jockey's log, and Paul Peter, well, he looks to be making a serious race for it with trainer Justin Snate. Now here they team up with Super Agra, a horse that has been successfully tipped on the show. And when you look at his form up in Gauteng since he's moved to Joburg, he's had 7 runs for 2 wins and 5 places. He's a very quick, speedy horse on his day, and anything from, you call it 1,000 meters up to 1,400 meters suits him just fine. And I just feel over this 1160 with 56 on his back, the plan will be to let him race from the word go, and it'll be fetch me at the 400 meter mark. And he's a horse that very seldom tires at the business end of the race, and if he runs all the way to the line, I have no doubt he's the horse to beat in race number 4, horse number 7, Super Agra, in a competitive field, so he should be generously priced up as well. So that will be the first of the 5 horses this weekend. Then on to Kenilworth, and it comes up in race number 8. This is a Pinnacle Stakes, and the distance is 1,400 meters, and I really like the look of this horse called Warrior. It's Justin Snate and Anton Marcus who share a very healthy strike rate together. And this horse, Warrior, when you look at the best weighted column being a conditions race, he's joined 3rd at 115. Ahead of him are 2 horses, Casimir and Russet Air. But you can safely say that both those horses have earned their ratings over the sprint trip, whereas this horse, he's already shown his class as a 3-year-old, and his 3 wins on the bounce as a 3-year-old was just superb when he reeled off the hat-trick. And his seasonal debut, well, that was super impressive. That was in the Variety Club Mile, where he won a really good race. And I want to say that when you look at his run last time out in the Cape Mile, when he reeled off the hat-trick, it was the 3rd win there, included the Variety Club Mile. And then last time out, which was his seasonal debut, that was the Cape Mile, which he won very, very well. He beat horses like Rascallion and Comité Ding, and we know that Rascallion has since come out to beat Do It Again. That form line's looking good, it's looking bright for number 5, Warrior. And he's got bigger and better things to come for the season, this individual. I think he should have a very good 4-year-old campaign down in Cape Town during their sizzling summer season, and I look forward to seeing him in KZN for our champion season as well. He's on the up, he's on the improve, and I expect him to get the job done in race number 8 at Kenilworth on Saturday. Then I mentioned that I like the card at Scottsville on Sunday. I like the card and I've picked out 3 horses. I'm expecting them to be priced up as the top one because they'll rightfully look their part in their respective fields. The first will be in race number 2, a horse called General Hancock. This is for Paul Peter and Warren Kennedy. Well, his form lines are clear to see. That's the form lines that he represents down in Gauteng. He was second behind Ablan, or third behind Ablan, 3 starts back. That has since won back-to-back for Mike de Kock. And then he was second to a first-timer called Esquivel from the Clinton Binder yard. And third in that race was Gauthier. And Gauthier came to reverse the form of General Hancock last time out. So he's been in highly competitive maiden fields up in Gauteng. And I think when trainer Paul Peter had a look at the program and he wanted to bring a few horses down to Scottsville, he found the right race for General Hancock to try and get it right. With all due respect to the opposition, there is very, very little form to recommend with most of these runners, and I think he'll be a hard horse to oppose in race number 2, horse number 16, General Hancock. Then we move along to race number 3, and here it is Justin Snate teaming up with Samanga Kumalo, and the horse is called Napoleon. His last start was a much improved effort. He came up against his odds-on favorite stable companion, that is Running Rifles, and he was just given a patient ride by young Carl Stradum. He set towards the back of the field and he started to catch the eye and make an impression over the final 400 meters. He was running on smartly. He was no match for his stable companion Running Rifles, but he did finish best of the rest, and that was over 1400 meters. He now goes over a mile. It's 1600 meters. He's a half brother to Jam Bam Man, an 8-time winner who got 1600 meters comfortably, so there'll be no problem with the extra distance for him. If anything, it's going to suit him much better. When you pull out the form line of his last start, well, it says that there's no winners. In total, there have been 12 runners, and yes, there have been no winners, but that said, there's 9 places to come out of those 12 runners. So whilst there haven't been any horse to find themselves in the winners enclosure, they've been earning and they've been finishing close up. So I'm not too concerned that there hasn't been any winners from that form line. And again, against this type of field with natural improvement from what he's shown last time out, a horse that seems to be coming along the right way, I think he is one of the better bets on the card at Scottsville on Sunday. Horse number 6, Napoleon. And then the third of the horses that are picked out at Scottsville comes up in race number 6. Now you must have heard it in the interviews with the winning connections, be it Dennis Gonzalez or Lorenzo, or even Anton Marcus, who's got a very, very soft spot for this horse. They all speak so highly of him. It's just his temperament, his mannerism, and of course his performance at the racetrack. His name is Shanty Man, and he's trained by Garrett Finsale, and of course Garrett is having a wonderful run with these horses, and Anton Marcus shares a very healthy strike rate when he teams up with Garrett as well. And this horse is slowly becoming the next equine millionaire. His stakes are close to 900,000 Rand. He's a 10-time winner. He loves the distance. He loves the course. His last win was just superb, the way he got the job done at Scottsville. And when you look at the best weighted column, this looks like an ideal race for him to notch up another career win. He's 3 kgs better off with the next best weighted in the column, which is horse number 8, Pray for Rain from the Dennis Dreyer yard. There's some talented sprinters in this field. He's going to have a race on his hand, but I'm going to go with him. He just seems to be loving his racing. He was actually going to be retired. They were hinting at that in the interview last time out. Well, he must be just loving it back home. So they've brought him back for another crack, and hopefully he can get the job done. That's horse number 7, the character called Shanty Man. Okay, those are going to be the horses to follow. And then my Cape Guineas winner, the Group 1 Cape Guineas. I had a look at that field. What a lineup will take their place. That promises to be the race of the weekend. There's some highly thought of 3-year-olds that will be vying for top honors in one of the premier race days and races on the South African racing calendar. But I've had a close look at them, and after his last start, I suspected they're going to take and have a go for this race. And I said, even if he takes on the best of the best, horses like Trip of Fortune, who have big reputations and you can't fault their form, I think he's an up-and-coming horse, and he will be at a decent price. His name is Double Superlative. He's trained by Justin Snate, and again, it's the combination of Marcus and Snate. Now, he's done nothing wrong in his career. He's had 4 runs for a win and 3 places. It's still very, very early days in his career, and his last run was, for me, his best run of his career to date. It was in the Cape Classic over 1,400 meters, drawn 8 out of 9 in a small field, set towards the back of the field, and he was the fastest finisher that day. 1,600 meters, no problem. In fact, he will relish the extra distance. Look up his pedigree. The dam, she won 5 times from 1,000 up to 1,600 meters. I think he's a classy sort. There's more to come from him, and I'm expecting a classy performance in the Group 1 Cape Guineas on Saturday at Kenilworth from horse number 8, Double Superlative. Okay, that is the wrap of all the runners for the day. How are we going to play it? How it's going to be up on the World Sports Betting menu. Okay, treble number 1 will be Super Agra at Turffontein, into Warrior at Kenilworth, into Napoleon at Scottsville. Treble number 2 will be Warrior at Kenilworth, into General Hancock at Scottsville, into Shantyman at Scottsville. And then the treble for Sunday, which will be up on the World Sports Betting menu, that I'm assured of. Race 2, General Hancock. Race 3, Napoleon. And race 6, Shantyman. And then my Cape Guineas selection, the Group 1, at a decent price. We're expecting a classy run from the talented horse called Double Superlative. And that is a wrap of this weekend show, guys. I trust that you're all going to have a fantastic weekend. I think, just be safe, stay safe, have a responsible time of it wherever you're going and whatever you're doing during this festive season. And I wish you guys all the best over the silly season. Find all the winners and make lots of mullah. And hopefully, you have a wonderful Christmas and everything goes well over this festive season leading up to 2021. And on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next weekend, you take care. Salanigashle.